Good morning to all of you. I'm Dr. Neetu Gahlot. I'm working in St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management. I'm the Applied Science faculty. So today, my topics are the types of corrosion, factors of affecting corrosion, and the prevention of the corrosion. Today is my sixth lecture. So now I start my topic that types of corrosion. So there are so many types of corrosion are present, just like galvanic corrosion or second is pitting corrosion, differential aeration corrosion. Next is waterline corrosion, then stress corrosion, then microbiological corrosion, soil corrosion. These are the types of the corrosion. Or we can say that these are the types of wet corrosion or electrochemical corrosion. As we know that there is a formation of a cell in a wet corrosion. So the wet corrosion is also called the electrochemical corrosion. Hence, in the wet corrosion, there is a formation of the cell, and it means there is a one part is work as anode and the another part is work as a cathode. So, according to corrosion topic, we know that there are the two main reactions here. First is the oxidation, and another is the reduction. So, oxidation reaction is takes place at the anode, and the reduction reaction is goes to the cathode. So now here we discuss the some type of the corrosion. The first one is the galvanic corrosion. So galvanic corrosion is also called the bimetallic corrosion because in this type of corrosion there are two dissimilar metals are contact to each other in a conducting medium. So in this type of corrosion, the this type of corrosion is due to the difference in the electrode potential of the metal. So each metal has its electrode potential, and this corrosion is depends upon the difference difference in the electrode potential. So the metal which has lower standard reduction potential is act as anode and the other work as a cathode. So as a result, the anode undergoes oxidation and forms the corresponding ions and passes into the solution. So this type of corrosion is the bimetallic corrosion. Avoiding of the control of the corrosion, the avoiding the suitable medium for corrosion and minimizing the potential difference of the metals or by the polishing of the metal. Second type of corrosion is called the pitting corrosion. In the pit corrosion, there is a damaging of the upper surface of the metal oxide, and there is the way to goes to the oxygen into contact of the metal. So this is a type of called the pitting corrosion. In this corrosion, there is a formation of the pit or cavity, or we can say that it is a pinhole like structure. So this damaging portion is work as anode and all metal work as the cathode. So the oxidation takes place at the anode. If the metal is iron, so that there is the formation of the ferric hydroxide, or we know that ferric hydroxide is the yellow rust. Next, how can we control or prevent? So then, first is the proper designing of the metal. Second is the proper polishing of the metal, and third is the purifying of the metal. Then third is the differential erosion corrosion. In this type of method, the metal is in this type of method, the part of the metal is contact of air. Which part is present in the less oxygen, so that this part is worked as the anode. And whereas the part of the metal is contact in the solution having high oxygen concentration is act as the anode. So this is called the differential erosion corrosion. At the anode, as we know that the oxidation takes place, and if the metal is the zinc, then it gives a zinc ion and releases the electron here. Now these electron which are released from the anode, they goes to the cathode, and there is the formation of the zinc hydroxide. Okay, then the next type of corrosion is waterline corrosion. In this type of it is a type of difference aerial corrosion which occurs due to the partially immerse of the metal in water. The corrosion takes place just below the water line, and hence it is known as the waterline corrosion. Here also, the less oxygenated part is work as the anode and the high oxygenated part is work as cathode. So if the metal is iron, then the formation of the iron Fe2 positive and electron release here, this electron goes to the cathodic part. So that this is called the formation of the rust. The antifouling points is used to minimize the such type of the corrosion to same extent. Next type of the corrosion is called the stress corrosion. Stress corrosion, we know that it occurs due to the combined effect of the tensile strength and the environment on metal when it is exposed to corrosive environment. So we can see that the metal or it is possible that the grains are the separated and there is this part is called the anode because that is a damaging part of a metal. So the oxidation reaction takes place here, and then at anodic reaction the metal is converted into metal ion and releases the electron, and these electron goes to the cathode and formation of the water molecule. So it has been found that stressed area in a metal are very reactive and undergoes corrosion event in the mild or corrosive environment. So stress corrosion are of the two types. First is the season cracking and another one is the caustic embrittlement. So first of all, we take the caustic embrittlement. As we know that we use the sodium carbonate Na2CO3 for the softening process of the water, so that this sodium carbonate will react with the water and gives the sodium hydroxide. The sodium hydroxide is called the caustic, and uh, here the concentration of sodium hydroxide will be increasing. So, due to the increasing of the concentration of sodium hydroxide, there is the our metal will be started corrode. So this is called the caustic embrittlement. And the another type of the season stress corrosion is the season cracking. This generally applied to the stress corrosion of copper alloy. This copper alloy is called the brass. That is a mixture of the copper or the zinc. So here it occurs mainly in the presence of the ammonia or amine. So when we apply the ammonia or the amine in the surface of the metal alloy, so the metal will be get destroyed. This is called the season cracking stress corrosion. Now, next type of the corrosion is the microbiological corrosion. The microbiological corrosion means it is due to the presence of the microorganisms which are present in the soil, and the corrosion is influenced by the presence of activities of the microorganisms and their metabolism reactions. So it depends upon the presence of the microbiology microorganisms. Just like bacteria activity is maximum. And the next type of the corrosion is soil corrosion. The soil corrosion, it is another type of the wet corrosion, but it is complex phenomena in which number of the variables involved. This type of the soil corrosion is generally depends upon the texture of the soil, or we can say that its porosity, its degree of variation, and the electrical resistance is also reasons for the soil corrosion. So now I come to the another topic, that is the factors of influencing corrosion. Okay, the two main factors are influencing the rate of the corrosion. These factors are the nature of the metal, and the second is the nature of the corroding environment. So as we know that the nature of the metal is a main factor of the corrosion. So it can be divided into so many parts also. So first of all, the physical state of the metal. So we know that it depends upon the grain size, the orientation of the crystals and the stress, etc. So then the corrosion, we can say that the corrosion is proportional to the stress, or it is inversely proportional to the size of metal. And second part is the purity of metal. We know that the pure metal does not corrode easily. So the rate and extent of the corrosion increases with the increases of the impurities. So because the impurity present in the metal forms minute galvanic cell, and the anodic part get the corrode. So the impurity, the corrosion depends upon the impurity, or we can say that the corrosion is proportional to the impurity. The next is the position in the electrochemical series. As we studied in the galvanic galvanic corrosion or the bimetallic corrosion, we know that when the two dissimilar metals are contact to each other in a electrolytic solution, so then the metal which has the higher position in the electrochemical series gets corroded firstly. So the extent of the corrosion depends upon the position of the metal in the electrochemical series and the galvanic series. When two metals are in the electrical contact in the presence of an electrolyte, the more active metal for suffer more corrosion. Next type is the nature of the oxide film. In the as we discussed in our previous lecture, that corrosion depends upon the metal oxide layer also. If the metal oxide layer is a thick, or we can say that is a non-porous or the porous, so that the corrosion is depends upon the oxide film here also, or it depends upon the filling bed width rule. And no, okay, or we can say that the specific volume ratio also. Next point is the over voltage. Over voltage is the inversely proportional to the corrosion. Then the relative area, corrosion is proportional to the ratio of the cathode and the anodic part. So we can say that the corrosion is also depend upon the cathodic part or the anodic part also. Then the nature of the environment. There are the so many factors, just like the temperature, humidity, pH value as medium, and so many other factors are also here. So we will discuss one by one. First is the temperature. We know that when we increase the temperature of the environment, then the rate of the corrosion is increased also. So the corrosion is proportional to the temperature. Then the humidity is also factor by which the corrosion increases. So higher the moisture content in the atmosphere, the greater is the rate and the extent of the corrosion, because moisture acts as a medium for oxygen in air and behaves as an electrolyte in the air. Next is the pH. We know that what is the pH value. We know that the water has what the pH value of the water is the 7, and it is the neutral. So if the pH value is lesser than the 7, then it works as an acidic medium acid, and if the pH value is greater than 7, then it means it is the base. So we know that the corrosion then is depends upon the pH value also. So there is a requirement of the acidic for the corrosion. So acidic medium are generally more corrosive than the alkaline medium. Such a metal like the aluminum, zinc, lead, etc. They dissolve corrode and alkaline medium. Next, the presence of the moisture. The rate of corrosion is increases in dry and the increases in the presence of moisture. Nature acts as a solvent for setting up electrochemical corrosion. Then the next is the concentration of electrolyte. Increases the rate of corrosion is equal to increases supply of the oxygen or the air. Poorly oxygenated as anode and highly oxygenated as cathode. So chloride ions present in the medium destroy the passive film and corrode many metals and alloys. Here the one more thing, that is the presence of the silicates ion inhibits as they form an insoluble product. So these the silicates are also responsible for the corrosion. Then the next is the presence of the suspended particles in the atmosphere. The chemically suspended particles, just like the hydrogen sulfide, H2S, sulfur dioxide, etc., and moisture, therefore increases the rate of the corrosion. So here we discuss the so many factors by which the corrosion the factors affecting the corrosion. One is the nature of the metal, and another one is the uh, factors, environmental factor also. So in the nature of the metal, we have to discuss that the purity of metal, the position of the metal in the galvanic series, and the over voltage. The next is the um, physical state of the metal, and then nature of the oxide film. These are the factors which are related to the metal. And the another factors are the environmental factor. These are the temperature, humidity, pH value, presence of moisture, concentration of electrolytes, and presence of silicates, presence of the suspended particles are the factors for affecting the corrosion. Now we have to discuss the method of prevention of the corrosion. There are some general methods, just like the no. There are some general methods for the prevention of the corrosion. They may be the painting, by the greasing, by the proper designing. So painting and greasing are the basic methods for the prevention of the corrosion, and then the proper designing also the method for prevention of the corrosion. The proper designing may be there should not be the corners, more corners in our boiler or any machines, so that if the corners in the corner there are the collection of the dust is also, so that is the main causes for the main reason for the corrosion. And then the galvanization. In the galvanization is the process of applying a protective zinc coating Here, as know that it is a zinc coating to steel or the iron to prevent rusting. So this process is the main thing is here that the coating of zinc on the steel or the iron is called the galvanization. Then the electroplating. In this coating, the metal is deposited on the base metal by passing a direct current through an electrolyte solution is the electroplating. And the most important point of this topic is the electrical protection method. These in the electrical protection, there are the two parts. First is the sacrificial protection and the impressed current cathodic protection also. And these topics are the very important for the protection method. So first of all, we take the sacrificial protection, and I want to discuss it with the help of the diagram. So here in the sacrificial protection, as the diagrams uh, uh, present, that here is the iron pipe which is underground. So this we want to prevent this iron pipe from the corrosion. So what we do? So according to the sacrificial protection, we need another metal by which we can save our iron metal. So in this process, we want to save our iron metal, which is present into the underground condition. So we have to require a highly reactive metal than the iron. I repeat again that here is the requirement of the highly reactive metal of the uh, highly reactive reactive metal in comparison to the iron. So here is the metal is magnesium. So when we get the magnesium, because magnesium is the highly reactive metal in the electrochemical series, so now this magnesium is contact with the iron through the wire. And when our iron pipe is when iron metal is work as the anode, now in the place of iron, the magnesium metal is work as a anode. So as we know that oxidation takes place at the anode and the reduction goes to the cathode. So now the oxidation goes to the magnesium in the place of iron, so that our iron pipe iron metal becomes a cathode, and we can save our iron pipe with the help of magnesium. So that this process is called the sacrificial protection method, because in this process magnesium get sacrificed to save the iron pipe. So here now I explain the iron object to be protected from corrosion in contacted to a more active metal either directly or through a wire. The iron object acts as cathode and the protecting metal acts as anode. The anode is gradually used to due to the oxidation of metal to its ions due to loss of electrons. Hydrogen ions collect at the iron cathode and prevent the rust formation. The iron object gets protection from rusting as long as some of the active metal is present. So now, mostly widely used as a protecting iron from rusting are the magnesium, zinc, and aluminum, which are called the sacrificial anode. And then the last topic of this chapter is the impressed current cathodic protection. It is also important, very important method for protection of the uh, metal. It is also used for the underground pipes also. So I can again explain with the help of the diagram. In this diagram, we see that this is the iron pipe, and we want to save this iron pipe, but it's a very large scale. So that as we know that the oxidation takes place at the anode, and the reduction goes to the cathode. So here, when the oxidation is here, then there is a flow of electron from anode to cathode. We can say that in a chemical cell, or in a electrochemical cell, there is the flow of electron from the anode to cathode. And here is the one more current is work, which goes to the opposite of the flow of electron, which goes to the opposite direction of the flow of the electron. And this current is known as the corrosion current. I repeat again, when oxidation takes place, so or we can say that the flow of electrons from the anode to the cathode. So there, the other current is working in the opposite to the flow of electron, and this current is called the corrosion current. Now, here is a picture. So for this process, we need to DC source also. So by the help of DC source, we have to apply the very high current by which we can nullify the effect of corrosion current. I repeat again, in this process, we need a DC source and or the very high current so that we can nullify the effect of corrosion current, so that we can convert our cathode to anode and the anode to the cathode. So here is the metal and it is the battery here, and connect with them, or there is the uh, backfill with the graphite or gypsum metal. And now in the by this process, this metal is work as anode, and our metal of that is iron is to the cathode, so that we can protect our metal. Now in this, according to this method, the current is applied from the opposite direction to nullify the corrosion current and convert the corroding metal from anode to the cathode. So in this process, usually the impulse current is derived from a direct current source within insoluble anode, like the graphite or the platinum. So usually a sufficient DC current is applied to a insoluble anode buried in the soil and connected to the metallic surface to be protected. So there's a in this type of cathodic protection has been applied to open water boxes, coolers, water tank, and ships, etc. So now I have completed my topic, the corrosion. In this topic, there are the subtopics also. These are the definitions, types, prevention, factors, and others also. And now at the last of our lecture, I give you some questions. First of all, explain the First of all, the first question is the explain the electrical protection methods, both of them, the sacrificial protection and the impulse current method, with the help of diagram also. And the next is the factors, explain the factors affecting corrosion also. If you any query, then you can discuss with me. Thank you.